Okay, so there's something I want to touch on really fast before I jump back into the game. When you turn the console off after a session of Mario 64 and come back later, the game will spawn you outside of Peach's castle with the default amount of lives. Now, I think that's kind of similar to Banjo-Kazooie, which when you're done a session of that game and you come back at a later date, the game will spawn you at the beginning of Gruntilda's lair with the default amount of lives in that game. So, anyway, the next world we're going to be taking on today is Whomp's Fortress, if I can get in the painting. So, Chip Off Whomp's Block is very similar to the Big Bomb on the summit from the previous stage, in which it's the next boss fight of the game. The Lakitu brothers cutting in with a live update on Mario's progress. He's about to learn a technique for sneaking up on enemies. The trick is this: he has to walk slowly in order to walk quietly. Now, to do this, all you have to do is slightly tilt the analog stick. Don't hold it all the way, just kinda slightly tilt it. Because if you hold it all the way, Mario will break out into a full-on run. Wrapping up filming techniques reported on earlier, you can take a look around by tilting the right stick. Pull the right stick back, which is C down, to view the action from a distance. When you can't move the camera any further, the buzzer will sound. This has been the Lakitu brothers signing off. So, like the Lakitu told us, if we use that C down technique, or right back on the right analog stick, we get this zoomed out camera view. And this is going to be the camera angle I use for the majority of the playthrough. Now, to get up to King Whomp, who is just at the top of the fortress, you can see him moving around up there. All we have to do is get to the top of the fortress by going around the left-hand side. Now, the left-hand side is where most of the stars are going to be located on this stage as well. So anyway, coming around the left-hand side of the fortress, we come to these elevator platforms, which we can use to reach our next boss fight. It makes me so mad. We build your houses, your castles, we pave your roads, and still you'll walk all over us. Do you ever say thank you? No. Well, you're not gonna wipe your feet on me. I think I'll crush you just for fun. So, let me set the year here for you. It was early to mid-1998, and me, being a little 4-year-old at the time, took this message to heart. And every time I would finish with a walk with my cousin, because she had all the game stuff at the time, I would always look at the sidewalk after a walk and say, "Thank you, sidewalk," because I was afraid of the cement coming to life and crushing me. Overworking imagination. You know how it is with 4-year-olds. Do you have a problem with that? Just try to pound me, wimp. Ha! So, the strategy I can best recommend for King Whomp is time your ground pound to his ground pound. So when he goes to ground pound, you ground pound. You'll phase right through King Whomp, getting a free hit in on his weak point, which is the big old crack on his back. 3 hits, and he goes down. Crushed again. I'm just a stepping stone after all. I won't grovel. Ha. Here, you win. Take this with you. With that, we get our first star of Whomp's Fortress. We're going to be getting 5 stars in this stage, because the other 2 are locked behind the coin missions. So to the top of the fortress is a pretty similarly structured star to the previous one. All we have to do is get up to the top of the fortress. Pretty easy, all things considered. There is a faster way we'll be getting up to the top of the fortress, but now you see there's a tower up there instead of a big boss fight. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a triple jump, kick off of this wall, and dive. And just like that, we're pretty much near the end of the star. I got hit by the only bullet bill in the entire game. Oh well, make him feel special. So all we're going to do is basically watch our platforming on these moving platforms to get up to this elevator. We're going to ride this elevator to the very top of the fortress, which is going to get us our next star. So shoot into the wild blue. This can be either a very, very safe or a very dangerous star. The intended way you're supposed to do this is by coming over here and talking to this Bob-omb buddy right here. Don't punch him, Mario. He'll prepare the cannon, which we load ourselves into. And from there, we shoot into the wild blue. We aim the cannon in this direction, and pray we grab the star up there, or launch ourselves into one of those pillars. However, we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to wall kick off of this wall and get our star that way. Nice and easy. Nice and safe. Not doing red coins. So what we're going to do is we're going to come into this tree, and we're going to disturb the owl. Who's there? Who woke me up? It's still daylight. I should be sleeping. Hey, as long as I'm awake, why not take a short flight with me? Press and hold B to grab on, and release B to let go. That is A on the N64 controller, and that should be the last N64 controller comparison I make. I'll take you wherever you want to go as long as my wings hold out. Watch my shadow and grab on. So we're going to grab hold of the owl, and we can now use the analog stick, once he starts flapping, to have some slight control over the owl. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lead the owl over to this cage and drop in, so we can get our next star. There is a way to do that with a triple jump. I'm not good at that, and I'm not a speedrunner. You've recovered 8 of the power stars. Now you can open the door with the big star, but Bowser's just ahead. Can you hear the princess calling? I can hear her calling from inside Whomp's fortress. So now we're going to do star number 6. And in order to do that, we have to use the cannon proper now. There is a way to get the star from behind this wall using a very specific setup. And it's supposed to be foolproof, but unfortunately it's not braiding proof. So what we're going to do is we're going to shoot into this wall right over here with the cannon. That will uncover our next power star. So getting to that power star is pretty simple, all things considered. All we have to do is just take the same path we used to get to the Whomp King in the first star. And with that, we have our next star. Just like that. Easy peasy.